Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late May 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the beautiful, lovely Scorpio collective out there. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for Scorpio here? What energies, messages, insights, all that good stuff. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio in late May. Guides, talk to me. What messages do you got for us here? What can we pull from this insight? What do we got? There it is, nice and quick. Okay, there could be something you're very focused on. Now with this card, I don't always go worst case scenario. Obviously, if you know the tale of Little Red Riding Hood, this isn't the most comforting image, but to me it's more about like what you're focused on, or someone being focused on you possibly when this card is here, because you see the wolf and red. We'll talk about that in a moment. Before we fully dive into it though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card. So if you look at the image here, it's a woodland area. We see Little Red Riding Hood right there in the path and the big bad wolf right behind her watching her moves. So yeah, of course, this could be seen as like a warning type of energy. I'm not going to go that route. To me, this is more about focus. So literally, there could just be a situation, a person, or something that has taken up a lot of your attention, or something that you're analyzing, something you're keeping tabs on. It's like, okay, well, I want to keep an eye on this, or I'm keeping an eye on this situation. Also, this could be how someone is treating you. So maybe there's someone watching you, or like checking up on what you're doing, or keeping tabs on your situation. That's a very much possible situation when this is here. So we'll want to look into it further. It could also be spirit saying like, hey, Scorpio, maybe you need to spread your attention around a little bit. Maybe not hyper focus on specific things and like spread your attention in different directions. But we'll see what's up. And yeah, we'll see what shows up within the reading itself. Let's put them down right there. We're going to get into tarot now. I'll get you 3 in the upright, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. And I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's shuffle it up here. What do we got for Scorpio, my guides? Talk to me. What do we got? And yes, while we shuffle this up and get it ready to rock, let's talk about last week's reading. Very positive, my friends. I was pretty happy about it. The reading was titled A Massive Win. Now, I always say that wins come in all different shapes and sizes. If you didn't have one recently, that could still bleed over for a couple of weeks, which is a good thing. So I hope really nice things have been happening to all of you. But as you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? And energy is always shifting. So let's see what we have this week for you, Scorpio. Talk to me, my guides. 3 cards to get us started nice and quick. What do we got in late May for Scorpio gang? Thank you. All right, menu board of life. We have the 7 of Cups. Could be manifesting. This is a lot of mental action and energy as well. And we will want to look into this further for sure. Let's get a couple more out. I'm a little skeptical because I think that showed up for the Cancer collective too in the same place. Cancer or Virgo, one or the other. Okay, we have Lady Justice in position number 2. So now the karmic archetypes are starting to show face a little bit. Okay, you might be deciding on something possibly. Let's get one more. What do we got here for Scorpio, please? What do we got for Scorpio? Thank you. Ace of Wands. Okay, so this is some fiery action right here on the back end. Okay, so I feel like this is an intriguing mixture of energy that we have this week, Scorpio. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I like, I always love to look at how the elements play off of each other. And we have this nice watery energy in the beginning, then the air and the fire it's like we're starting slow and then speeding up. It's like slow, boom. It like happens very quickly. So there could be something that either like takes off very quickly or happens quickly. It all really depends on all the detail of everything going on here. But these could be separate situations. That's a vibe I'm picking up already. And we'll talk about it a little more. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because I do feel for some of you it's all one thing, but for another portion it could just be like various stuff. But position number one, the Seven of Cups. So whenever I see this card, I always say this is beautiful, because to me it's a card of options, it's a card of paths. And you see this individual there, it's like they're looking up at all those cups and they're choosing what they want, what way they want to go, what they want to manifest and bring in. So when I see this card, especially in the first position, this could be somebody mulling something over, thinking something over. You might be doing a lot of thinking in general in this time, which is a very water sign type of thing to do. So you might be daydreaming a little bit, you might be fantasizing, or just thinking something over. It's a very active mind. But I do say that your powers of creating and manifesting, especially if you're visualizing these things, could really move towards you suddenly, very, very quickly with the Seven of Cups. Now, where we get into the challenge of the Seven of Cups, sometimes it could represent someone that's a little indecisive. They don't know which way to go. They don't know what to do, or they're trapped in their mind. Okay, so depending on what clarifies it, hopefully it's nothing like someone that's high strung, but it could be someone who's a little trapped in their brain. So we will look into that further. Now, as we move towards the center, we have beautiful karmic Lady Justice. So a big portion of you, I know Libra is our zodiacal neighbor. Maybe you have some Libra placements, maybe you're connected to one. And Lady Justice is a very complex card. She can mean a lot of different things. Once again, there's something about mulling something over, possible decision making or choices. So for a lot of Scorpio, these themes and archetypes are going to be very important, like what you do, where you go, when you do it. There's something very important about the choices and decisions you make, and the actions that you take. Lady Justice does connect to everything legal, everything contractual. So for a portion of you, maybe you're signing something, maybe you're signing a contract, maybe a lease, a car, a house, whatever. There could be anything dealing with legal documents could be showing up here. So dot the I's, cross the T's, be very careful. But Lady Justice is the biggest karmic card. It's spirit bringing things into balance. And it could be karmic archetypes that we're going through, whether it's karmic connections we have or just a cycle of life. We'll want to look into this further. Usually when I see Lady Justice, though, it's like the universe taking the wheel, or spirit taking the wheel and saying like, all right, I'm going to drive for a minute. You chill, watch this, Scorpio, watch this. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Ace of Wands. Boom, card of action. So this is similar to the Tower, but much less intense, which is a good thing. I've been seeing a lot of the Tower this week, which I know that energy never gets under Scorpio skin. It's a card that represents us. We're used to that rebirth, but that's besides the point. All aces represent opportunities and offers that could be coming in. Been seeing a lot of these for the water signs lately, especially when we have the manifesting and the decision. So there could be a nice fiery opportunity that you're going to have to make some action on to really make the most of it. The Ace of Wands could represent our energy levels. So you might be burning a little extra hot in this time, whether it's your temper or whether it's your motivation levels. I really like this Ace of Wands. It's very passionate. And just know that your libido could be heightened. And listen, as part of the collective myself, I know that Scorpios generally have a heightened libido to begin with, but it might be a little extra. So keep that in mind. Especially like with the fire-air combination here on the back end, to me, the way this energy is flowing, it's like, all right, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about what I want to do. I'm deciding, and then boom, I'm doing it. It's like thought, decision, action. It like flows. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Scorpio. Let's jump in and clarify. Yeah, you might make a move of some sort. That's kind of like what or someone around you is gonna. But let's jump in here. And yeah, this is where I like to go intuitive, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Seven of Cups. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Seven of Cups time. What do we got here? What is that Seven of Cups here? Thank you. Page of Wands. Wow. Oh, man, you're going to be very popular, Scorpio, in the coming days and weeks. That's for sure. You're going to be more popular than you normally are. That's for sure. And this feels very intense. And we could still go with all the messages I talked about with like the menu board of life and the choosing and all that stuff, like something becoming a thought. But you might actually really decide to like make a move towards something or on something in this time. Page of Wands, it's a card of communication. And the vibe this feels like to me is like you're going to be hearing from a lot of different things, a lot of different people. It's like coming out of a slow time into everything all at once. It's kind of like a vibe like that, where it's just like everyone comes out of the woodwork, like out of nowhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if like you're very magnetic specifically to the people around you, which is a very scorpionic type of thing. Scorpios generally have a more magnetic presence. And I'm feeling you drawing various things in, whether it's people, whether it's situations, they're coming at you already. And we'll see how it shows up throughout the rest of the reading, but I'm already picking it up. It's like you're pulling things in. And I felt this for Pisces too. Page of Wands could also be a conversation of some sort. It could be news of some sort. But to me, I do feel like this is a lot of things at once. So we're just going to keep moving. Could be communication and talks, because aces are also the same. So I feel a lot of chitter chat or chit chat and people hitting you up and stuff like that. You're going to be pulling people towards you here. Let's see what Lady Justice has to say, though. Let's see what Lady Justice has to say. And if it's not that, what I was just discussing, you might actually decide on something like, no, I'm going to decide to do this, or this is what I'm going to do. And I know, as part of the collective myself, when a Scorpio decides to do something, they're going to do it. 9 times out of 10, they're going to make a move on it. So there could be some action coming in. Let's see what Lady Justice has to say. Okay, thank you. All right, yeah, 4 of Cups in the upright. So this mental daydreamy stuff, don't psych yourself out about things, Scorpio. Don't always think that like because something happened one way one time that it's always going to be that way. Okay, and for some reason I feel like I need to tell you that for whatever reason. Now, yes, we can get indicators about how things in the future are going to go by how things went in the past, but we can't always predict. Yes, as Scorpios, we are very intuitive and we have these gifts that we can kind of see things before they happen from time to time. But when I get the 4 of Cups under Lady Justice, you're not always going to be able to understand the universe, okay, and why it does what it does and how it works. And we could try our best to try to look at the inner workings of why things happen, but we're never fully going to understand it. Now, I will say this. It's not the nicest message, but I'm going to give it anyway. When I have the 4 of Cups with Lady Justice, there might be an individual or a situation. It could just be a situation where you're thinking like, you know what, I really wish that person would get what they deserve. Like it's kind of giving me that type of energy. It's like, I'm not going to do anything about it yet, but I really hope this person gets what they deserve. Like they shouldn't have done, like, so there might be a situation or something you think is not right, and you're hoping that somebody, like the universe, takes care of it, which could be very possible. Maybe the universe is going to bring that karmic action into play. We'll see when we get to the back end if I'm going to get clear signifiers for that. But I'm getting the vibe of you wanting someone to get what they deserve, or somebody feeling that way, right? Doesn't feel super vindictive. I still feel you being very magnetic and pulling people towards you still. So let's keep moving over to the Ace of Wands and we'll see what that has to say. I mean, a very odd message here in the center. We will see. Let's see what that Ace of Wands has to say. And that's what I was saying. I feel like these are separate, different things for a good chunk of you. Let's go. And this could be the decision process too, deciding to do something, mulling it over. Let's see what the action has. Where's the Ace of Wands here? Okay. Yep. King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself without a beard, showing up in reverse underneath this Ace of Wands. Okay. All right, Scorpio, please just, I don't want to say be cautious in this time, but you might be extra spontaneous. That's one thing I will say. You might make a move out of nowhere. You know how like you watch wildlife documentaries and like you see the lion and it's just hanging out, it's not doing nothing, and then boom, it just like pops up and it's on something. Like this is kind of the energy this is giving me, where like a lot of Scorpios might be in a very calm state, thinking about doing something. It feels very explosive action, real quick, like someone going from 0 to 100, or something picking up steam really fast. So whether this is you deciding like, all right, enough sitting around, enough waiting around, I'm going to act, or somebody else, this feels like very explosive action where it just comes out of nowhere. It's just 0 to 100. Doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Absolutely not. We do have this planning phase and mulling something over, and then boom, it's like out of nowhere someone acts on something. I don't necessarily feel like there's a warning tied to it, though. That's the good thing. Now, the King of Cups is generally tied to emotion, creativity. It's one of the cards that represent us as water signs. So when I see it in reverse underneath this Ace of Wands, I feel like you're not thinking something through and just doing it. So for some of you, if there is an offer or an opportunity coming in, don't overthink it. Don't overthink, just do. Don't overthink, just act. So Spirit could even be urging this in this time. Okay. And listen, as part of the collective myself, I know we are very much prone to analyzing and overanalyzing things and trying to see what the inner workings of everything are. Sometimes we could overthink, right? Like very similar to air signs. But when I see this Ace of Wands, it's very explosive action that either you're going to take or Spirit might want you to take. Don't think too much, just act. That just keeps going through my head. So do with that information what you will. Let's go through and do a quick recap, Scorpio. And then we'll get into the shadow card. Peculiar reading this week, if I'm going to be honest with you. So the week might be interesting. Not bad by any means, but just peculiar. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the 7 of Cups with the Page of Wands. Now, I did say it's like someone thinking about something, deciding, then acting. This has kind of been a congruent theme throughout the whole reading, where it's like planning, thinking a little more, acting. So position number 1, though, the 7 of Cups with the Page of Wands. There could be a lot of people hitting you up, very magnetic, and I feel like it's a lot of stuff happening at once, where something just goes from like nothing, crickets, to everything. It's like 0 to 100. We have that in both areas of this spread. There could be conversations coming in, like a lot of them, and I feel like your phone might be a lot more active than it normally is. Moving to the center, we have Lady Justice with the 4 of Cups. Sure, I did say like this could also be like a little bit of that planning phase, somebody mulling something over, deciding to do something for sure. But another thing I was picking up here is there might be a situation or something going on where you're kind of hoping that the universe takes care of it, where it's like, I wish this would happen this way, or I wish this person would get what they deserve. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. It doesn't feel angry or vindictive. It's just kind of wanting to see the universe do what's right. Moving to the back end, we have the Ace of Wands with the King of Cups in reverse. Once again, this explosive action or something coming up out of nowhere. And I did say it's like a lion pouncing somewhat. So it just feels like from nothing to something really, really quick. You might be extra spontaneous in this time, so do with that what you will. Please take a screenshot. Let's get you a shadow card here. Shuffle it up and see what's in the shadows for Scorpio, my guides. Please and thank you. What's going on for my friends? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards do not always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. And I have much love for all my channel members. I really do. Let's get you one shadow card, though. What do we got? What do we got? Thank you. Hey, Page of Cups. So another page, a card of communication. Now, for a lot of Scorpios, this could represent something like memories from a long time ago, because remember, you're a water sign. This is water sign energy here. And there's energies around communication whenever we have page energy and learning new things. So when this shows up as a shadow card, it could talk about, especially in a water sign reading, something from childhood that is still affecting you to this day. Okay, it does feel a little serious. So whether it's a behavioral pattern or something that's went down, it could be totally separate from what's happening in this reading. So just know it could be a behavior that you started exhibiting or something that may still affect you in one way or another. But a big thing with the Page of Cups is that it's a card, especially in the shadows, that it could represent somebody trying to suppress something. So there might be a thought There might be a feeling that you're feeling. And I know we get the reputation sometimes of not always wearing our heart on our sleeve. Sometimes like people have to pry things out of us. Spirit could be asking us to open up a little bit when we have this Page of Cups. Let somebody in or let something out. Don't suppress. So Scorpio, easier said than done, right? But that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a one-on-one personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing a winner's choice this month, my friends. 2 lucky subscribers will get their choice of either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a wonderful deck. It's one of my favorites. Or you can choose a crystal pendant of your choice from my website. They're homemade. The energy is luscious. They're beautiful. So it's winner's choice there. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments where in the world you are from. You don't have to give me your home address or anything like that. It could be your country, state, province, whatever it might be. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again soon.